What did I tell yous? First round knockout, there's levels.
Welcome back to the Man Cave with your host, Mystic.sosa. Today we'll be breaking down the prelims for the fight night. Thiago Santos versus Magomed Ankalaev. Big fight right here, man. Magomed's time to shine, time to show if he's really the top three that we know he is. Hopefully he's able to pass through a worn out Thiago Santos, who could definitely put your lights out any given time. I don't care how old he is, 67 years old. That dude is just built like a brick house. But yeah, let's go ahead and break down these 8 prelims that we have. Again, we're only doing the prelims until the further we get along with this channel. But yeah, first fight of the night, Mr. Typhoon Ninchukwi going off against Azamat Morzakhanov. So like most of these fights that are coming up in this card, these are very hard to actually get a good lean on who's going to come out victorious in this fight. We have Typhoon with the power of Africa. You know, these people, once they're born, they have already a 80% power added to their attributes. Taking on the Russian, the professional, I shall say, 6-1 versus 10-0. There's not really much to say about these two. I feel like both of these guys really haven't competed against the best competition. We have Asma here, who knocked out Andre Muniz a few years ago. But how good is Andre Muniz's striking? We're in 2022, and the guy's out here swinging wild haymakers against Eric Anders. But he's winning fights, so shout out to Andre Muniz, one of my favorite BJJ practitioners out there. Yeah, this fight here, either Typhoon knocks this guy out standing, or Asmat implements his takedowns and tires out Typhoon, and either gets a late stoppage or a decision. So, again, tough card here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Russian here to get a late second round finish or a decision. It's going to be hard here to really know, since this guy's not really gone to a 3-round decision. Only 2 rounds I think I looked up. But yeah, give me Asma here to get a more leaning into a decision for some reason. I'm not sure if these guys are going to finish unless Typhoon knocks this guy out within the first round. Moving on to the second fight in the bantamweight division. We have, I don't even know why I'm breaking this down. We have Guido Canetti, the 42-year-old ninja from Argentina, taking on Chris No Head Movement Montino. Amazing performance last fight by Chris. Came in short notice. Shows that he is able to go 3 rounds. Honestly, that fight should have been stopped in the first or second round, but you know Herb Dean, I don't know if he makes plays in these fucking fights that he decides to just do whatever the fuck he wants sometimes. So, yeah, Guido Canetti versus Chris Montino, man. What can we say about these two guys? Chris literally has no head movement. That you go and look up on Google search no head movement. The first picture pops up. It's Chris Montino. He's coming in here with a red hair. I'm not sure if it's the camouflage, the blood that's gonna be coming out from all these punches that I know Guido probably will be landing in the first round. But then we have Guido Canetti on the other side, man. Dude is 42 years old and still doing it, man. He's looking good for his age. We got 42 years old out here that don't even work out. He's looking good. He looks like he might be turning a little script around. You know, last fight, man, people were expecting him to get starched. As myself, I was thinking he was gonna get starched within the first fucking punch that Manny Martinez threw, but it didn't happen like that. The man took Manny Martinez to a decision and actually won the decision, guys. It's crazy. He did slow down the third, but I don't know how people are confident in here picking Chris. I don't know how people are confident picking Guido. I'm gonna keep it simple, guys. Give me Guido to get a decision over here, And hopefully in the third round, because you know Chris, he'll get hit, but he will come at you with a lot of volume. So depending what judges see, some judges like the facial damage. I'm pretty sure Chris is probably going to get cut up here. Some judges like the volume. So that third round is going to come down on what the judges like. Do they like the damage that Guido has put on Chris, or do they like the volume of Chris that he's going to be putting into the third round? Who knows? Maybe he gets a late finish. I don't really see anybody getting a finish here, but if anybody might get one, probably Chris in the late round. Who knows? Give me Guido Canetti here, guys, to get a decision and start chasing for that belt, man. He has a lot of time left, Moving to the third fight in the middleweight division, we are looking at Cody Brundage, 6'2", 27 years old, coming on to take on the champion Dalcha Longambula. 11-3 record. He is coming out of South Africa. Remember, guys, these Africans come out of the wounds with 80% power already in their attributes. It's almost a given. He's 34 years old, and he will have a disadvantage in the height, and also no, it looks like he has an advantage in the reach, which is actually perfect because what can we say about Cody Brundage, man? Cody Brundage, he hasn't really impressed me. I thought he was going to actually come into the Dana White Contender Series and in the UFC and just take these guys out of the water with his wrestling, but it doesn't seem like that's been the case, man. This guy's been a very disappointment in the UFC. He goes on in the Contender Series, goes against William Knight. And immediately, I'm not sure what happened. As soon as he got hit with one elbow, the dude just started showing up. And I'm not sure if the elbow, William Knight hits fucking hard. Let's just get out the way. But I'm not sure if that elbow was a hard enough elbow to, not start moving or disengaging. I'm not sure if he was going for a takedown on that fight. It was in 2020, so... Then he goes on to LFA. He wins via a triangle choke against a 4-1 opponent, which, it's a 4-1 opponent, but why are you taking this guy out in the third round? The dude's 4-1. Obviously, it doesn't seem like he's just UFC ready, and then he takes on Nick Maximov, and there were many moments where Cody was actually outstriking Nick to the point that he could have probably taken Nick out of there. I think it was in the second or the third round, but the dude just gassed. And I don't blame him. Nick definitely he's gonna try your gas tank out, but many times where Cody had moments where he could have finished that fight and come out victorious. But now he's going to be taking on Dalcha Longambula. The dude's going to knock you the fuck out if you give him a chance. It's easy, simple as that. If you don't take this guy down, which can Cody get a couple takedowns? Definitely he'll probably get a couple takedowns. But what happens if it does get extended to that second and third? Dalcha himself doesn't have a lot of volume, but trust me, when he touches that chin or whatever body part he's punching at, you're gonna feel it. So Cody is just not UFC level in my opinion. So for that reason, I will go ahead and take Longambula to go ahead and get a second round knockout over Cody Brundage, guys. Moving on to the fourth fight in the flyweight division, we are looking at the women's MMA. Two beautiful women out here about to throw down, and shout out to Miranda Maverick. Not sure if she recently got married, I think a couple months ago. Congratulations. Broke my heart. We have Sabina Mazo, Colombian queen. She is 9-3, and she is a 24-year-old fighter who, 24 years old. You never know. It's very young at that age, and so many things could be learned if you do go to the right camp and you have the right people around you. Sabina Mazo will be taking on Miranda Fear the Maverick. She is 9-4, and she is also 24 years old. So, pretty young. As you can see in the background picture that I posted, Sabina Mazo with the big height difference, and also coming in with a 5-inch reach advantage. There's a lot of people here on Maverick, man, and I don't blame you. I was very hyped on Miranda Maverick when she came to the UFC. Little built, so super strong. She looks super strong, like she was on roids, but I'm not saying that she is, but what can I say? She really didn't impress me that much, man. I would have thought. I mean, Erin Blanchfield, that was a total domination. She literally could not do anything to get out from the bottom, which, hey, it happens. You know, you're not gonna win all your fights in the UFC. But then the fight prior to that, Macy Barber, a split decision. I personally scored it for Miranda Maverick. Yes, I did have a bet on Miranda Maverick, but I just feel like she did way more. And I guess the judges, you know, they had a schedule for Macy Barber. They had some type of calendar for her to win the fight because you know, she's a big star in the UFC. So I'm not even gonna get into that. But after that, she does win a decision. Well, before that, she does win a decision against Jillian, and then she knocks out with a cut, not really a knockout, doctor stoppage, I shall say, against Jojua. And Jojua's not really a UFC caliber fighter. She's no longer in the UFC, so we can't really take much away from that. So what are we really looking at here with Miranda Maverick? Is she ready to take on Sabina Mazo? I say she is ready to take on Sabina Mazo, but again, Sabina Mazo has a lot of volume. She will come at you with a lot of volume, and again, 24 years old, so there's a lot to learn. Again, you can see got choked out by Mariah Agapova. Shout out to Mariah Agapova. Keep your head up, girl. It's just things don't go out. You know, what can I say, man? Shout out to Mariah Agapova. A real street fighter out here. And yeah, she gets rear naked choked by Mariah Agapova after getting clipped, actually. So got clipped as soon as she got a knee down to the floor. Mariah was on her back, taking that neck. So I felt like it was just too quick for her to even figure out what was going on. So this is, in my opinion, this is a 50-50 fight, guys, honestly. I'm liking Sabina Mazo here because I'm not sure how successful Miranda Maverick's going to be with her grappling or even her takedowns. And I'm pretty sure that Sabina could out-volume Miranda Maverick over here, and who knows, maybe even drop her with a kick. Not saying there's gonna be a finish, but who knows, it might be a knockdown. So, good luck to Miranda Maverick. She's still young. Give me Sabina Mazo over here to outpoint herself to a decision win, a split decision. It's a 50-50, guys. Throw a coin up in the air, and may the gods, MMA gods, be with you, sirs. Moving on to the fifth fight in the featherweight division. We have Damon, the Leech Jackson, taking on Kamuela, the Jawaian Kirk. A good fight here. You can't blame UFC for setting up this fight. Shout out to Damon Jackson. He is 33 years old. He will be taking on the 27-year-old Kamuela Kirk. Damon has doesn't really have much. 5'11", 1 inch height advantage, and a 2-inch reach disadvantage. But I'm not sure if the reach will matter here again. I see Damon over here actually just he does have the more experience again, and I do want to give props, man. In the man cave, we like to give props to the fighters when they come big, when they come out big on bets that you make. I remember taking him against Mirsad Bektic. Can't really pronounce these fucking names, but yeah, man, I remember taking him. It was on 2020. He was a 295 dog, and I remember taking him inside the distance. Some crazy line, man. Shout out to Damon Jackson. Dude is not gonna give up, and on top of that, it was on a 3rd round finish. So he's there to, he's gonna take you out if you give him an opportunity. So Kamuela Kirk, he came in his UFC debut against Mac 1 Americani. He looked really good. Some people are actually taking that fight into too much consideration now. We have to look at Mac 1 Americani. I do always say that these UFC matchmakers have some sort of like futuristic type of screen or something that shows them into the future. Mac 1 Americani currently is 1-4 in his last 5. He has actually been finished twice in out of those losses. So horrible knockout via knee and within 14 seconds in the 2nd round by Leron Murphy. So we have to look at these guys, man, that they beat. Like, were they on a downfall or what was going on? Again, he got the decision. He looked good. He doesn't have a lot of experience against tough opponents, but what can I say, man? I'm not really convinced on Kamala Kirk just yet. I'm gonna just go ahead and take my boy Damon Jackson. I'm gonna take my boy Damon Jackson over here to get a decision. He could find a finish here, but for some reason I feel like he'll probably get a decision. Maybe I'll grapple Kamala Kirk over here. It's not a fight that I have any action on, just to make it clear, but you know, there's sometimes that little feeling out there that these vets give you, and you gotta go with the gut, man. Give me Damon Jackson via decision. Moving on to the sixth fight in the bantamweight division. Talk about a banger. We got Mr. Trevin Jones, Mr. 5-star Trevin Jones, going off against a undefeated Javi, the Snow Leopard Basharat. He will be taking on the Afghanistan 26-year-old Javid. Javid's coming in with that height advantage. Javid's coming in with a disadvantage of 1 inch in the reach. And you know what else is another disadvantage that Javid's coming into this fight with, and it's that experience against opponents that he's been facing, man. The dude's been on a can crushing rampage. Talk about Giga in his early fucking fights. This guy out here takes the number 1 trophy for that. Javid, what can I say? He looked good. He dominated his last opponent. Talking a lot of stuff about those Afghanistans, and what happened? Dude got dominated for 3 rounds, and then, you know, when Javid decided it was time to get this guy out of here, that maybe he'd learn his lesson, he goes and gets him via a guillotine choke. So great performance. Again, he's facing cans, but like somebody that I watch with, not watch with, the show that I watch, Half the Battle. Shout out to Dan, shout out to Shaq. Hope Shaq comes back soon, you know. It ain't Half the Battle without Shaq the Meister out there. So yeah, but like Dan said, man, he's taking on these guys. He's definitely taking them out on the first round, most of these, and that's what he's supposed to do. But I'm not convinced, man. Trevin Jones is known for, if you're not UFC caliber, he's gonna put you on your ass, and I don't care if it's a fluke KO or if it's a fluke win. The dude just getting the wins regardless. Guillotine choked in his last fight. He lost via 3rd round. Can we really take much away from that? The dude's cut 3 weight cuts in like less than a month, I think. And yeah, man, dude, he gassed out. He looked pretty tired after those grappling exchanges. So I'm not gonna take too much into that. He is coming into this fight. He had a full camp. And yeah, talk about that Mario Batista. We already saw how good Mario Batista looked in his last fight. He just comes out of nowhere and uppercut to a ground and pound within the first 40 seconds of round 2, and then Timur Valiev. Timur, man, somebody's gonna touch Timur and he's gonna get dropped cold. Like Barcelos did that to him. That should have been in 10-8 round. I don't know how they gave that to Timur, but yeah, he knocks out Timur with a right hook to a ground and pound. So he's definitely UFC caliber. I don't care if this was weed in his system or if not. And yeah, man, undefeated fighter. He's gonna meet some. This is by far his toughest test in Trevin Jones. We just gotta hope that Mr. Jones is good to go and put a ass beating on this guy, man. So give me Trevin Jones to knock this guy out. Give me a knockout when it's a second round. That sounds good. Yeah, give me Trevin Jones via 2nd round knockout, and hopefully Javid over here starts taking on some decent competition, man. It's not looking good for his record. He's finishing them, but how good is that when you're taking on somebody like Trevin Jones, who's probably going to finish you if you're not UFC caliber? So, yeah, man, give me Trevin Jones out here, the 5-star All-Star. Moving on to the 7th fight in the flyweight division. We have JJ Aldridge taking on Jillian the Savage Robertson. JJ Aldridge, she is 10-4, 29 years old. She will be having a reach advantage via a couple inches. Probably like around 4 or so. Jillian Robertson, she is 26 years old. She's actually the younger fighter, man. Jillian Robertson, she is the younger fighter, man. She's been in the game for so long, you probably think that she's like 35 or something. She definitely has the body of a 26-year-old. Put that out there. Her face as well. She's pretty cute. Yeah, what can we say about this fight, man? I don't want to... If you're betting on this, you motherfuckers are crazy. If you're putting heavy units on Robertson, or even if you're putting heavy units on Aldridge, may God be with you. I honestly don't want nothing to do with this fight. What's this? Decision? I don't see a finish going on in this fight. It's going to be a nasty split decision. And whoever the judges likes the most, it's probably going to win, because I see this pretty even. Jillian Robertson, man. What can we say about her previous performances? She beat Priscilla beating, which is really good, because Priscilla's out here catching W's by pounding the shit out of women within 3 rounds, and judges are liking that. And then she did lose to Miranda Maverick, and no shame in that. Again, Miranda's like a 50-50 right now, man. I'm not sure what to think about Miranda, but she did lose to Miranda, so, you know. And then she goes on and loses to Tyler Santos. So she's taking on some hard competition, man. I'm glad she got her last win. And we're going to go ahead and look at JJ Aldridge, man. What can we say about JJ Aldridge? Vanessa Demopoulos. What a crazy ass last name. She's beating her in her last fight via decision. Let's see. She's beaten Courtney Casey via split decision. Lost to Sabina Mazo via split. So, I mean, god damn, how the fuck can you even like know who's gonna win this fight, man? I'm honestly just gonna go ahead and flip a coin, man. Give me JJ Aldridge to get a split decision here over Jillian Robertson. I don't want to touch this fight. This is probably going to be the fight where I go outside, smoke my joint, and get ready for the next fight, because the next fight is what I am waiting for the prelims. That is my main event, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main event for a few other people that know who Jedi. Let me go ahead and rephrase that, man. We got to put some respect on Matt Semmelsberger's name. We are talking about Semi the Jedi, Matt Semmelsberger. So, yeah, you know, give me JJ Aldridge, get a nice little decision here, and you know, fuck this fight. Moving on to the 8th fight in the welterweight division, the prelim headliner. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This fighter holds a record of 9 wins, 3 losses. He is coming out of Frederick, Maryland. He weighs in at 170 pounds, 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Matt Semi the Jedi Semmelsberger taking on AJ Fletcher the Ghost. AJ Fletcher 9-0, 25 years old. You know, he's young. He actually won't be having any advantage here. He doesn't have the height. He doesn't have the reach. So that's definitely a big problem, man. What can we say? I'm going to go ahead and break down AJ Fletcher, man. I remember seeing this guy in Dana White's Contender Series. I think that was his last fight. Yeah, he did win by a flying knee. He's definitely aggressive. Got to give it to that. He does possess a wrestling background. And we're looking at his record, man. He's finishing these guys. You know, he's finishing not the best opponents. Let's be real here, guys. He's not finishing the best opponents, but he's finishing them. 25 years old, and also on top of that, he does have an amateur background as well, where he won a few fights and lost a few. But we're talking about here Matt Semi the Jedi Semmelsberger, a guy that went to 3 rounds with the one and only, the one that's taking the UFC by storm. It's either Don't Sleep on Me, because I'm going to have the doctor wake you up, and Chaos Williams. He went 3 rounds with that, man, bro. And you got to give it more props than what people are giving it. We're talking about Chaos Williams, dude. The dude's could be undefeated in the UFC. Michael Pereira, I don't know. I'm not sure how the fuck they give him that fight. but what can we say? He's knocked out Abdul in 30 seconds. He's knocked out Alex Morano in 27 seconds. And then after fighting Matt Selmersberger, which he won via decision, he goes on and takes out Miguel Vieza within the third round in a crazy exchange where Chaos does get hit, but Chaos lands that one right in the chin where he just shuts down Bieza's body and you can't go on anymore. Matt Selmersberger, dude, has great striking in my opinion. He definitely puts some feints out. He tries to see what your technique is gonna be. Martin Sano, dude, fucking Selmersberger comes in and throws a jab to the body to see what Sano's gonna do, if he's gonna defend either top or bottom. He fucking sees that Sano is not covering his fucking head. So on the second exchange, he goes for a fucking, I'm not sure if it was a body to the head or to a right cross. I'm not sure. He just lays this guy out in 15 seconds. That's how quick Matt Selmersberger can put you out. Now, I do expect this fight to at least pass the 1 minute mark. AJ Fletcher is no Martin Sano, of course. But it's still too much, man. It's way too much for somebody to come in here and take on Matt Selmersberger, who as soon as he got to the UFC, he's had this like dark enigma around him where he just became pure evil and is just taking people out, you know. Shout out to Matt Selmersberger, dog. Give me Matt Selmersberger to nullify AJ's wrestling, because again, Matt Selmersberger has also, fuck this guy's last name, son. I'm gonna just call him Semi the Jedi. Yeah, Semi the Jedi has a good background into wrestling as well. People don't really know about that, but so yeah, I do wanna go ahead and be sure and give you guys, oh yes, take Matt Selmersberger to knock this guy out, but you gotta give it credit where credit is due. This guy AJ never been knocked out in his professional fights. Neither has he been knocked out in his prior amateur fights. So has he faced anybody as good as Matt Selmersberger? I wouldn't say he has. So just for that, give me Matt Selmersberger to go ahead and finish this guy within 2 rounds. Give me Matt Selmersberger within 2 rounds over here. AJ Fletcher, I could see him being a UFC caliber fighter, but just needs a few more fights. It's not fucking Matt Selmersberger. Shame on UFC for doing this to the guy. But hey, who knows? If he wins this fight, goddamn, I'm on that AJ Fletcher train like a motherfucker, man. Alright guys, like we always do, breaking down the previous bets that we had on the last card. First main plays that we had was Tygier and Spivak's fight not to go the distance. I actually had Tygier moneylined. What can I say, man? There's a lot of stories going around, interviews being made by Tim Elliott. It's a dirty fighter, man. Not really much to say. Goes to show what his character is. And shout out to Tygier, man. I'm pretty sure that he'll come back even stronger. And I still, even after the glove pulls and the first sneak to the head and the fence grabs, I still gave Tygier the win via split decision. But take one on the chin and keep it moving, because we're not stopping. Next unit, shout out to Kevin Holland. I was very, very confident that Kevin Holland was going to come out here and take Alex Oliveira out, but for some reason I didn't expect for him to actually be dominated on the first round like that. I'm not sure if he was just pay-per-view or, you know, a new weight class, just trying to get his feet under him, but he comes out, he wins. Shout out to Kevin Holland, one of the best UFC stars. Now, I want to say fighter, but one of the best UFC stars out there. Definitely knows how to get the crowd moving and pumping. Next one was the Kevin Holland inside the distance with Bryce the Rapper. That cashes. Total domination by Bryce Harper. Like, I didn't expect that, but goddamn, there's some sort of stat that he has the most top control in the UFC, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or I'm not sure if it's surpassing Habib's by like a mile or so. But shout out to Bryce the Rapper. Dude's doing great things. Ludovic Klein, fight doesn't go the distance. First off, shout out to Ludovic Klein. He was one of my dogs for that card. Like I stated, he looked great at weigh-ins, and just the confidence coming out of his eyes was remarkable. It just made me take his side. He could have gotten the finish many times in the fight, but we have to understand the dude's short notice. The dude's doesn't want to gas himself out, and definitely not after losing to Nate Landworth last fight. So I just feel like he just took the right approach, got his win, and shout out to Ludovic Klein for getting back into the win column. Jalen versus Malarkey. I did go ahead and switch my pick from Malarkey to Jalen due to the fact that Jalen was just fucking humongous, guys. Like, we're talking about fucking crazy big. But I did state as well that if you're betting Jalen, you better not just be betting Jalen thinking it's gonna be a smooth ride, because Malarkey came back, and he definitely came back with whatever he had. It's just he couldn't take those punches, dog. Jalen's a fucking massive. So that fight ended inside the distance. It didn't cash, but shout out to them fighters, man. Great fights. And the Hail Mary, of course, doesn't hit, but 0.5 units. For the night, we ended up negative 4 units. But hey, man, we're coming back. We're coming back harder. I'm not gonna put the plays out for this card yet, just because I've been very busy. I'll eventually either put it on my Instagram, share it with you guys, or probably post it on the next video, show you guys what the results were. So again, this is a crazy card, man. Lots of 50-50 fights. Take it easy. If you guys want a pick for myself, I would say take Matt Selmersberger, either money line, parlay it with somebody else, or take a risk and take him inside the distance. But yeah, guys, this is it for today's episode. Hopefully you guys make some good plays and don't lose a lot of money. Again, this is only prelims until the channel starts growing. And yeah, man, I love doing these breakdowns. I love putting in work and showing you guys my side of things. Not a lot of people put in a lot of work on these YouTube channels, and they just copy and paste basically. But yeah, leave your comments, leave your best plays, share it with the community, like, sub, subscribe, and see you in the next fights.
What did I tell you? First round knockout, there's levels.